Hey, this is Paul, and very quickly about what changed between the free version of the dock and the premium version of the dock. So the free version was created in like 5 hours on a stream. You can find it publicly available on YouTube. Something like 5 hours worth of content. I had a workflow in mind that my girlfriend taught me, and I created a dock. And then the premium one also has a set of videos about how it was built, but now it's a playlist of the 6 more items, the live streams. So I put some other 20 hours into this to make it a much better user experience. So I tried using the free version myself. I immediately saw what problems it had, what could be made better, and that's when I took it back to the drawing board, and that's how the premium version was born, with a lot of exploration and a lot of things. So these items are also available to patrons for you to see. There's lots of tricks in this premium version dock, but okay, let me just show it to you. So let me copy the free version. Like, there's a lot of small details around the dock, so better instructions. The premium version has video instructions on each step, the free one doesn't. Even some small things like the name of the dock. By default, when you copy the free version, it says copy of free, but if you copy the premium version, it would already try to figure out which months it's trying to cover. The calendar is going to cover some months. So okay, I created here a copy 1 and a copy 2, and the first, and press to start and press to start. And here is the first difference. In the free version of the dock, you had to click the button to open the editor, and you only could use list items. So you had to put your tasks something like this, like clean the room, or finish the dock, record the videos. And you could make accidental subtasks. It was heavy on the subtask side, so GTD doc video, and maybe schema best practices, and maybe something else. But these had to be list items. If you wanted to organize this brain dump of a list into separate sections, maybe like personal and work, or project 1, project 2, project 3, or something like that, you couldn't really use the paragraphs, the normal paragraphs, in the mixture of the list items. So personal, I know, finish the cleanup, whatever, just whatever, right? So you could not do it like that, and you could not really use the top level tasks to, and then have, like, you couldn't do things like this, because what that would do, that would put personal on the Eisenhower matrix, but not the actual tasks in the sublist. And if you did it like that, again, it would put the personal task on the Eisenhower matrix, so it would not work well with the unlisted items. Let's see how this works. So it properly detected the first 3 tasks, but then finished the cleanup. It kind of detected that one, but it's not highlighted, it's broken, it doesn't get a number assigned, so we have issues with how these are treated. Whereas this was fixed in the premium version, this is fixed. So again, there's videos on each step that tell you what to do if the instructions are not enough. You don't have the button. Well, you have an instructive piece to click here to start typing your tasks. So it already has some instructions for you. And the biggest part is that here you can use whatever sorts of paragraphs that will not become the tasks. So they will not become the tasks. So you can use like personal, work, other, or change the ways you are specifying your list. So you could also keep the you could have the tasks like bulleted lists. So again, you see I copied it from there, and here it lost the checkboxes formatting, inserted it just as a bulleted list. It works well with any kind of list, numbered, bulleted. Again, it creates the subtasks, but if you need to put some comments or do the, for instance, add the headers or add just regular paragraphs to split your list into multiple lists, this will ignore these ones and properly work with the list items. And here, behind the scenes, you can already see that it lists only which rows will become tasks, which lines on your brain dump will become tasks. So if this stops being a list item, it gets removed from the items that will become tasks. So this gives you already some indication of what things will become tasks. And you save this and go into the next step, and there's your Eisenhower matrix. This piece was unchanged, actually. But if you, for some reason, if you went back in the free version, it would just give you the blank button. So you have your list of tasks, you can open the editor, you can edit the things around. This is, again, those small changes, the small changes that improve the experience. And then you couldn't click the button to go to the next step, and you would be left clueless what to do. And in this version, it tells you that the tasks are already created, you cannot modify the list here anymore, this thing is unclickable, but it also allows you to either go navigate to the next step, or if that's not what you want, but you want to reset the list of tasks, this also gives you that handy capability to completely reset the doc, but also reset the task list or preserve the task list if you wish. So it resets the doc. The Eisenhower matrix is not populated yet, but you can keep editing your list, adjusting your list. Or if you want to reset it completely, you can also uncheck the checkbox. So you have that surfaced. Previously in the free version, you have to unhide pages if you want to reset the doc, go into the database, unlock this page, and then reset the doc from here. And it would not allow you to preserve the things that you've entered in your list. So all these small things, right? And when you're done putting items into your matrix, here's where the biggest improvement is. So in the free version, you have this interface of assigning things into days. It makes use of the default Coda default calendar view. And the problem with this view is that, like now, it's the end of the month already. So, but there is no way for us to see, like this week, maybe we want to plan for the next 6 weeks or for the next 4 weeks or whatever. But the only options we have to print the calendar. Again, the print the calendar was made with the default stock Coda calendar implementation. All we could do here is print, the full July, and this would be like useless white space that we don't schedule anything into. Print August separately, or just wait for August to start so that we don't waste paper, and this will not motivate anyone to start planning from today. They would wait for another week to start or something. And the second problem with the calendar is that there is no way to make it start on Monday, because for many people it's convenient to think of the calendar that starts on Monday because that's the work week, the work days start, and then have Saturday and Sunday on the right side, especially the European people. Our week starts at Monday, and I think in most countries it starts at Monday, and it's convenient for us to look at the calendar this way. And unfortunately, with the stock calendar, you cannot do that. So schedule tasks in today. Previously, or in the free version, the flow is like this. You have these buttons to move the pointer. The orange pointer shows which day we are currently modifying. And it's also a good idea to go into the full screen to see a little bit of the calendar. And then you press plus and you can toggle the task in the day that the pointer is showing at. So you move the pointer, select like another tasks, you move the pointer again, select another tasks, and so on. And you have to remember, you can add subtasks to each of the tasks, which is also a bit confusing because you want to add something under schema best practices. You have to click here to add a subtask for record the videos. So this worked as a add to the sublist, not add below, which, well, I will not be fixing that. Um, any the lights went out, the sun. Let me very quickly fix this. Oh, no, the sun is coming out again. Anyway, and another thing that you had to not overlook to do is to check out all the things that you are done scheduling, and only then the button will light up to get you to your printable calendar. And yeah, it's okay, it works. Again, there's a lot of free white space. You can go and print the page and it will even look half decent, so the items will take a bit more a bit more text will fit into this. Let me fix the brightness. Yeah. So, but if the line is long, it will not wrap itself on the second line and all the rows are of the same width, which is, again, it works, but it's not ideal. And I got it all fixed in the premium version of the dock. So on the third step of the new dock, you have this like hacked together calendar-like view that's based on a table, and it also has days, and the calendar actually starts on the current week, so you don't have to move it by full months. It starts on the current week and it renders 6 weeks starting from the current one. And if that's not what you want, before you start scheduling any tasks into these days, you can shift the calendar, move to the next week or move to the previous week. So depending on how you want to print it, remember that you can print it blank and just have the calendar that you can write things into, even if you don't want to do it with the tasks. You can just print yourself a calendar, and that's another thing to touch on. The calendar that you get in the end is a very compact, bespoke printable calendar that you can open in a new tab and put on your printer, and everything is so compact, and it's also very it's also a fluid one, so means that if many tasks are scheduled into the first week, other rows will get a bit smaller, right? And that row with a lot of tasks will expand itself, so tasks will not get cut off from this calendar. Okay, let's populate it with tasks. So you click select tasks and you have all the lists before your eyes like this, and you can move between days right from here. It hides the tasks that are already scheduled. Well, it shows the tasks that are scheduled into this day. It doesn't filter them out by default. But as you move through the calendar, you can also close it and open any other day and open any other day. And right now it does. And if you thought about any other task that you want to add, you can just add it here, like maybe record the explainer video. Select which list it belongs to, urgent and important, and it appears here. You just have to click in here because Coda doesn't refresh the list immediately, and that's how you add the task. And if you want to show all the tasks, not hide all the tasks that are already scheduled, you can click here. So this is a toggle button, and that's how it will always show the full lists regardless of which tasks are already scheduled. But the biggest improvement here is how you schedule a task into multiple days. So for instance, we know that I want to record this video or this video, and it's gonna take me 2 days. I can put my mouse over the task to reveal extra controls. Clone the task into consecutive days. So add +1, 4 days, 5 days. The task is taking us 5 days. Or if we overdid it, we can get the days back. So we can put our mouse over any task on any day, and this will give us the controls, what we can do from there. So add a day. If we delete this task on this particular day, adding a day will still add it after the last day. So it's a bit smart. We know that maybe we wanted to skip a day, but but this task will take us an extra day, so this will do just that. Then we can move the tasks left and right. So if we want to shift all the instances of schema best practices, by the way, we can highlight them. So toggle highlight will highlight the tasks to get us a better feel of where they are in the doc. For instance, we can find that this one is outstanding. We don't need it on this day. We can remove it from here. If we want to shift everything by a day, we realize that we shall start this a day later. We have the move controls, so we can move it like this. And again, and if we put our mouse on the, not the first one, but for instance on this one, it will only move this and future instances by 1 day. So it will preserve these two, the schema best practices on Thursday and Friday, but will move this one here. See it like this. And same with moving tasks to the left, and of course undo also works. And another thing is when you hover on the day, you can either just clear the day, just removes everything from that day. You can schedule everything anew on that day, or you can also move everything, insert a blank day. Let's say you have your schedule packed, but you want to have a day off and shift everything to happen 1 day later. You can hover on the day, insert blank day, and shift all right, and it will shift the whole calendar. The rest of the calendar will shift everything by 1 day. And of course you can click Ctrl-Z to undo that. So this is how you add things to the calendar, and it can get really packed. And when you're done, you go to print the calendar view, and this is a very compact view of your calendar. And let's go back and just let me show you what I mean. I reset everything. I reset the highlights, and I select everything in the first day, right? And I go to the printable calendar. It made this cell much taller and made these a bit more compact. So it will adapt the view and also will not cut off the tasks if they need a few lines of the text. So this is ideal for printing, an ideal view for printing. And again, the calendar is starting on Monday. So this is the quick overview of the free version versus the premium version. Please go to my Patreon. I put the link below the video, either in the description, or if it's in the community, then it's in the community. Or you can just find me on patreon.com/codatricks. Series and up. I'll be very happy to see you there. Cheers!